Toronto's new vacant home tax. Let's talk about this new tax that we have coming up. All residential property owners, you would have received a yellow piece of paper from the government, from the City of Toronto, outlining that you need to declare the occupancy status of your home. What does that mean? You just basically need to say whether it's occupied or not, whether it's lived in or not. And why is this important? It is because if you do not declare by February 2nd, 2023, the occupancy of your property, you may receive a fine of $250. So one, that's really important. And secondly, this is to address, the housing, the affordable housing and housing crisis that we've been having over the last several years, the shortage. And this is just another way for the city to try and address that problem. Basically, the home is considered vacant if it has been unoccupied for about 6 months or more. So less than 6 months doesn't qualify. More than 6 months to a year, if your home hasn't been occupied, that is a vacant home, and then therefore there's about a 1% of your property assessment value. That amount would be the tax that you would pay. Now, not everybody is going to be, taxed. There are exemptions to this rule. So if your property is under construction, this is something that you can, not worry about as long as you declare that. If an owner unfortunately has passed away or is in assisted living or home care, or in medical care, those are all exemptions. There is a list. So there is a link below where you can, declare the status of your property as well as look at all the other details. Now, tax would also not apply to those of you that, fly away for the winters and are here for the summers. If you do go away for, that period of time, you are exempt from this as well. As I mentioned, this is very important because if you don't declare your home occupancy status by February 2nd, 2023, there may be a fine that you have to pay. And those of you that declare your properties as vacant, that have not had somebody living in it, you're going to get that tax amount that you'll have to pay in 2023. And this will be paid annually going forward. Okay, so the purpose of this tax, as I mentioned, is basically to address the housing crisis that we've been having and discourage owners from keeping their properties vacant, that are not occupied, that are not rented out. And the tax is basically going to the affordable housing initiative that the city has put forward. You can start making the declarations right now. You have from now until February 2nd, 2023. And it is super duper important that you do that because nobody wants a fine of $250. And it's an easy go online, submit the form. All the information that you need is actually on the yellow piece of paper. You'll need your property tax assessment roll number. That's all kind of there. It's super easy. Takes less than 5 minutes to do. And for those of you that are, confused, look at what the exemptions are, read up and make sure that you declare your property properly, because for anybody making false declarations, and by mistake that does happen, but for those of you that, if there is a false declaration, there is a penalty. It's anywhere between $250 to $10,000, which is super duper expensive. I mean, mistakes are mistakes. So make sure that you are doing your due diligence, read the details, declare your property so that you don't have to deal with that later. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you found any value in this video, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for more information just like this coming your way next week.